Hello, everybody. It's July 22nd, 2022, and you're on Friday Night Live with myself, Ron Hulbert from Orlando, Florida, and our co-host, Len Nakamoto in St. Petersburg. Len, bring it up here.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to Friday Night Live. We have a good turnout of 308 people already, and we just started, so this is a good sign. Maybe we'll get 500 by the midway. Hopefully, we'll have a good turnout. Let's first of all make sure that let me mute everybody. I forgot to. All righty. So we're going to begin with a bang.
Uh-oh.
Our topic tonight is, who said uh-oh? Okay. Our topic tonight is Unpassive, the reset of the digital world. And we're going to begin with our OTech pros, starting with Bob Takusi, and he's going to give us an overview. Take the floor, Bob.
All right. Hello, everyone. Greetings from Bel Air, Maryland. It's good to be here. Hi, Bruce. Good to see you. Hey, Brother Tony, Brother Marty, Auntie Lynn, Mr. Ron, good to see you. I'm glad you made it here with us. I know you were not feeling well earlier. Good to see you, all my friends all around the world. It's a pleasure being here again and a privilege, of course, to be speaking to you all. As you know, we're talking about Unpassive, the reset of the digital world. Unpassive is the reset. Just by its nature, it is the reset. The structure of Unpassive is a reset. Her ecosystem is a reset. There's no company like Unpassive. You know, just think about our massive ecosystem with every digital product that any company needs around the world, both companies and individuals. We have a total internet solution that we're bringing in. We're coming in with a total internet solution that is automated, integrated with single sign-on. There's nothing like that right now as we speak. So that's a total reset. Our employees, the business model of Unpassive, the business model is a reset. We don't have that right now currently. So when we talk of a reset, we mean something that's anew. We're starting something anew, or we are recalibrating. You know, Mr. Ash likes to talk about the corruption, the correction to the corruption. You know, we are resetting the digital world from a customer perspective. Unpassive is, I think, the only company that I know that is building her products with customer focused, customer oriented, to give the customer the most value at the least price, the most value at the least price. You know, but I'd like to draw all of us here, all the founders who are here tonight, I'd like to draw your attention to the back office. I've said this a few times, but I just feel fascinated and fixated with a video that came out sometime last year when they opened the office in Hyderabad. There was a video, it's about 7 minutes and 18 seconds or something like that. It was in the splash page for a while, but now that video is at Mr. Ash Mufara's page. If you go to the updates and then you go to Mr. Ash Mufara's tab, if you scroll all the way down, it's the last item down. It's a video that video actually, to me, encapsulates Unpassive as a reset to the digital world. So I implore most of us here, if one of us here can just take a moment to go look at that video again. When that video starts, for me, I believe that it sounds like the words of there's a narrator who is speaking. And it sounds to me more like that is Ash Mufara who is speaking, you know, or his words. It says equal opportunity for all. We are bridging the gap between big and small. Equal opportunity for all. Bridging the gap between big and small. Every business, whether you're big or small, needs artificial intelligence. And that is what Unpassive offers. That's the reset. Unpassive comes with an ecosystem that is built from scratch with artificial intelligence. And Unpassive is saying that we are going to help you. We're going to help every business, big or small, everywhere around the world. We're going to help you revitalize your systems, your digital marketing strategies for a complete, you know, transformation. That is a reset. Any company who wants to reset themselves to meet your projections, to meet your end goals and surpass your goals, OnPassive is a place. OnPassive is a total internet solution for anything that you need. Everything. We have an ecosystem that is 50 products plus digital, plus physical products. That's a reset. There's no company in the world that I know, and I believe most of us here know, that has that kind of power. So that's how OnPassive comes to the marketplace and projects herself with a superiority and a dominance that is going to last for decades and generations to come. But her reset actually is, the secret of this reset actually lies within the products that OnPassive brings. My brother Collins is going to actually expatiate more on the disruptiveness and the usability of her products, because OnPassive is bringing what we call disruptive technology, systems that are disruptive. Some of our features have not even been seen or known yet. That is how OnPassive comes into the marketplace. You know, our systems, as you all know, we are built with artificial intelligence from the scratch. AI is embedded all the way from the ground up. They are integrated. The systems they talk, there's no company that we know, we've said this several times, that has built a system like OnPassive with artificial intelligence. Yes, artificial intelligence has been around for a while. It is true, since the 1950s and the 60s. But it is also true that it's only around maybe like 2010, 2011 that AI became prevalent. We started reading studies from the University of Berkeley in Southern California, where tests were being done, and then AI became more and more in the forefront. And then Mr. Ash Mufara has taken it with our magnificent teams in Hyderabad to the next level. Let me speak like my brother Oliver. You know, there is one key aspect that I want to draw our attention to when we talk about the products of OnPassive, how the reset is being done. When Mr. Ash Mufara talks frequently about unmetered, that is a big reset in the industry. Because as we sit inside the industry, we see, we can see. And here we hear what Mr. Ash Mufara is saying differently because we are inside. When he talked about unmetered, it's a big deal for all companies. That's why Oliver constantly says that CEOs are going to refer other CEOs to come and get OnPassive for our superiority and the fact that our products are unmetered. Each time that a company acquires a piece of software, you know, we have what we call the IT vendor management department and the legal team. They always get together and they try to figure out terms and conditions and things like that in a document that it's called a master service agreement, an MSA, where they stipulate all the how many users are going to use this product, the terms and the conditions, the subscription fee, monthly, and all that. Depending on the number of users that will use this product, that's how the company is being charged. So you buy the product, you pay the subscription, and then if, say, let's say a department has 100 people who are going to be using that product, you pay those additional fees. Ash Mufara comes in and says we're unmetered. That means you buy this product, as you buy this product once, you have unlimited users to use it. That is a very, very, very big deal. That is going to actually help lots and lots of companies. And that's how all our products are. Every single one of them. Just imagine a product like OStaff. You have OStaff. Most companies use OStaff for their HR department. OStaff is made up of multiple products. Right now, we use several products that form our HR system. Ash Mufara gives you OStaff and say it's unlimited. So most companies are actually really, really going to make out well. And that's a big, big, big reset that Mr. Mufara brings into the industry. Let's look at OnPassive as a corporation, as a company that is being set up. There's no company like OnPassive. OnPassive comes in with multiple locations. Before we start, OnPassive comes in with multiple locations from Orlando to Hyderabad, from Hyderabad to Singapore, from Singapore to Dubai. 2 floors, two different floors, all ours, with another one in the works. That's a reset. There's no company that we know that have come into the marketplace with this massive power. She comes in with almost 1,000 employees. That's a reset. Employees that are experienced and qualified. You know, we have training departments. The company comes in, make sure there's everybody that is coming in, you are qualified or you are trained to to perfection. We have artificial intelligence, machine learning teams. We have brainstorming teams, people that come in and they do their jobs, they build their systems. They don't let them go. They stay just to keep brainstorming and building the systems to perfection. You know, the concept of the founding of the founders, us, those of us who are here, the founders of OnPassive, is also a reset. You know, a company that comes in is coming into the business world, to the marketplace, with about almost 1.5 million founders who are also customers, who are also resellers. So the company comes in at a vantage position. If it's only us, the 1.5 million of us who are customers of OnPassive, that has not been heard of. A company that comes into the marketplace, day one, you have almost 1.5 million customers who are ready and willing to buy your products. That's assured sustainability for the company, you know. And then guess what the company does? The company is branding us. Each and every single one founder is an independent entity of OnPassive. OnPassive is running, but each and every one of us, we are all branded. Most companies, they don't do that. They do subdomains. Each and every one of us have our own domains and our website running with the same products as it is in onpassive.com. That is not heard of. We don't know of any company that does that. You know, the websites, they change daily. Today you come to our website, they are dynamically changing. Every day you come, you see something else. The developers, our engineers are constantly working to make sure that these websites are very attractive. You can go to the website, you see the website, the visualization is just magnificent. It's appealing. It's very attractive for those who come in to buy our products or to see what we have. You know, as a company, also, OnPassive is resetting the entire landscape. OnPassive comes in not only with her offices all around the world, different locations. She comes in with her products, proprietary products that are built from scratch with artificial intelligence and everything, but she also has her own data center. That's the reason. There's no company that has come in that we know that at one time you come in, you have total control of your systems, your products, your data center, and your own financial system. So OnPassive is coming in as a total reset. OnPassive is a reset, in my judgment. You come in, you are independent. We are not dependent on anybody or any company. Nothing is going to stop OnPassive. When Mr. Ash Mufarah constantly tells us we are unstoppable, only God can stop us, it is true. And we see it. It is demonstrated by the achievements that we have. It is a fact. There's nobody, because one, we have our data, we have our data center, multi-regional data center. My brother Vincent is going to talk more on them. Multi-regional data center, even the architecture, the way they think it was constructed in a way that it can never go down. The data center, data is protected, everything. We have that. Then we have our own financial system. So everything, OnPassive has total 110% control of her systems, her products, and us, her founders, inside that magnificent ecosystem. You know, we are now at a point where we are just waiting. You know, our founder, Mr. Ash Mufarah, is a master strategist. He has done what he needs to do. We saw an example on March 30th in Boston, when we rolled out our introduction to the world. That was a reset as well. Nothing like that has been done before. Constant commercial in one city, in one region in the world. That's in the region where everything is converging now. Leisure, commerce, and technology is converging in the Middle East, in Dubai. That's where we started. And we're going to spread around the world. So it's getting ready for us to go. But here is what OnPassive does as well to reset the playing field, the digital playing field. Because OnPassive is built with a heart for humanity. Ash Mufarah does not launch OnPassive without the flagship product called Obless. Remember when Mr. Mufara was in Boston, before he even showed OnPassive to the world, he showed us what Obless has been doing. Just to tell the world that this company OnPassive, we have this product. This is our flagship product. It is called Obless. Obless is a product that is going to greatly impact millions and millions, maybe billions of lives around the world. And it is our flagship product because the good deeds of OnPassive is going to reflect back on OnPassive, and everybody around the world is going to want to know what company did that good deed, and it's going to come back to OnPassive. That's the master strategist we call Ash Mufare. So I'm going to send it back to you, Antiline. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bob Takusi. You covered quite a bit of ground in those few minutes that you spoke. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We now go on to Collins Mana. He's going to be talking about products and the global reset.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Antiline. Just want to greet everyone here, our fellow founders and those who are watching. It's good to be here again, Friday Night Live, and to talk about OnPassive, the reset of the digital world. Why reset? You know, the topic is really, really vast, really, really broad. It's a broad topic, and we can look at it from different angles from the product. You know, lots of company, especially IT company, has failed because they refuse to change. You know, change is one of the most difficult things when it comes to humans. You know, we are so comfortable in our old ways. And sometimes when change comes in, a lot of people said, no, I don't want change. And the moment you refuse to change, what will happen? You will fail. You know, that is it. A lot of companies closed because they refuse to change. You know, remember the word from our CEO, Mr. Ash Mufara. He said, now we are in the digital age. It's either you move according to time or you stay behind and become outdated, obsolete. Means nobody will want to see your software or the products you are building. You know, that is a very, very difficult word to say. And because he is a master in this field, you know, we see it because like someone like us, I work in the field every day building software from scratch. You know, from the word of mouth till the time the software come out in production, we've seen a lot. And my brothers here, they've seen a lot as well. And technology changes within seconds. You know, every day there is new template, every day there is new tools, every day, you know. And the good thing when we always talk about OnPassive is timing. You know, the time for AI. As our brother said, and Bob, he said AI has been there for ages, but why now? Why now? Why AI now? Why everyone is talking about AI? It is because the technology which are being used to build AI is now. All the template and every tools to build AI is now. And that is why we're talking about AI, you know, artificial intelligence and machine learning tools. Because without this modern technology, there is no way we can build AI. AI was there, yes, people think about AI, but it was difficult to build because of the technology at that time, what they were using. You can just build a simple component, but that is it. You can't go anywhere. Let's look at our daily lives. How many of us here, sometimes we use software and say this software is crap? Difficult for us to do our job. Sometimes you are in the office or you're working somewhere and you have a piece of software. You don't have any choice, but you just have to use it. And this company are making lots and lots of money. You ask yourself, what are they doing where they can provide proper software solution for us? And it's because they are money driven. They just want to do it now and get the money. They don't put you at heart. OnPassive is coming to reset that, to put the customers first. That's what Mr. Ash Mufara is doing. You know, putting the customer first, making sure whatever which OnPassive is producing or whatever technology, it must be the best, something that will serve the purpose or the intended purpose which the software was built for. That is reset of technology, the reset we are talking about. You know, a technology that will serve the purpose. On-passive is not money-driven, it's about purpose. A lot of time we talk about functionality, which is features and usability. In IT, we talk about usability and features and functionality. Let me put it that way. Functionality means the features that you have. Sometimes company will build lot of features, but they are not usable. They are not usable, and they'll sell it. To be honest with you, they'll put it in the market and lots of people will buy it. Sometimes I look at software, seeing someone look at software compared to what we have been building. I say, my goodness, this software is crap. My goodness. And this is what is happening because they just want to cut down time and put it. But we are coming now, looking at on-passive. What we have seen in our back office, that is minimum value products. They are really good. If you put this in the market, it will blow the world. But our CEO said, what? I'm not going to release this. Now we are talking about over market value, disruptive functionality, all AI driven, embedded from scratch, all automated. So you can sit, relax without doing anything. Because when they talk about automation, a lot of people don't really get the word automation. Automation means you build the system to do what human beings can do. And that is where AI will come into it and learn the word that you speak. When you said, I want AI will go and memorize that word and keep it again for future use. But the automation is about giving you a system where you don't have to do anything. Your hand is free and the system is doing it for you. And then AI and machine learning copy the information and the data, analyze the data, whatever you input value you will put, AI will understand it as if it was a human being doing that for us. That is the meaning of automation, AI-driven, and we're talking about integration with a single sign-on. It means each of the software can talk to each other, right? For instance, Academy will speak to Connect. And how they do this, we're talking about application programming interface that connect them. So it's like a messenger that keep them together. So if you tell Academy, you know what? Connect, let's say Connect is C, Academy is B. You tell Connect the information that is coming because you are B, the information that is coming from Mr. C, take it, receive it, else reject it. So as humans, if you go and tell Mr. C, which is Connect, or Mr. C, which is Connect, and you change the name to something else, you trigger information, what will happen? Academy waiting for information coming from Connect, which is C, will tell you, no, I don't recognize it. Or just reject it, said, no, I don't know. Until you tell Academy, the information that is coming, I've changed this name, receive it, and Academy will start to talk. That is what they talk about integration, making the system to work together, connect together. When you put Lynn Nakamoto, you tell Lynn, message that is coming from Marty Digamo, receive it. But when you go and change Marty Digamo's name to Tony Mong, you know what? Though it is Marty Digamo, you've changed the name, you have to come and tell Lynn, I have changed that name, receive it. If not, Lynn will say, I don't know, it's like a foreign particle. That is what they talk about integration of the products, each talking to each other, sending information end to end, encryption, everything seamlessly working together. We're talking about interface. We're talking about that is the beauty about our technology. People don't get it. The beauty about everything working together seamlessly with a single sign-on. That is the key. We're talking about reset. How many times have you kept password in your head, multiple passwords? You cannot even think about the password. And they've given you single sign-on where you just log into the system and what will happen? You get access to everything. So you can sleep peacefully without memorizing too many passwords. Sometimes you forget some of the password and you have to call support. Please, I forgot my password. Maybe sometime weekend, you go on your weekend, you come back, you forgot all your password. But now you have single sign-on. I know a lot of people are working here. They will tell you they forget their password every day. It happens to all of us. We cannot keep too many passwords. And this is the madness of on-passive, where they want to make our life easy. Not only our life, business across the world. Who will not use it? We're talking about disruptiveness of the technology. Who will see Academy? We're talking about flipping the page. Let's look at Academy. the product. We're talking those who use a lot of online study application. How many online study application give you certificate, proper recognized certificate, internationally recognized? None. Academy will give you that. Stay somewhere and study and you get proper recognized certificate. The rest, that's what we're talking about, reset of the digital world. Those who cannot catch us or beat us, they should stay behind and become obsolete. That is unpassive. 3 years ahead of every game. Is it mail you want to talk about? Look at the interface, everything seamlessly working together, all features together. Those who cannot catch us, you know what, become obsolete. Now, we are tired of using software that does not work for us. Unpassive is coming to give us the platform that will do what we want. And as Bob said, we are on top of it. We are 3 years ahead of the game. You know, when we look at the products, it's just so mind-blowing. We can talk about it, go and split everything as a standalone product, put everything together. It's just mind-blowing. But Angeline, I will throw it back to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was a very powerful presentation, and I'm so proud of the products we have. And yes, they're over market value, but way over market value, in my opinion. It's so exciting. All right, next we go on to Vincent, and Vincent's going to talk about the data center and other related aspects to the data center. Go ahead, Vincent.
Okay, thank you, Auntie Lynn, for that. Hello, Ron, Marty, Tony Moss, Bill Mas, Mike Ellis, Gladys Nyaboro, Marcian, John Barry Labris, John Butike, my brothers, Otek Pros, and also all the participants and those who are watching us from YouTube. Hello to all of you, all the participants and those who are watching us from YouTube. So today I'm going to talk about the data center, but before to start with, let's say the reset of the digital world. So the reset of the digital world will start from data center. So again, the data center is a facility that centralizes an organization, share IT operation, and then IT equipment. So I know a lot of people sometimes ask the question, is it data center, is the internet service? The data center is not internet service provider. The data center is a facility where we have all the IT operation and IT equipment. It's not an internet service provider. So I want some people to make it clear to know that it's not an internet service provider. It's different, completely different from the internet service provider. So, and then, well, let's say our data center, all the benefits or all the facility, all the good things come with our data center. Our data center come with a green data center. So I know when we say green data center, people don't get what is a green data center. So green data center, for one word, is maximize the energy efficiency and also minimize the environmental impact. So this is the use of the green data center. So our data center is used for the environmental impact. So the green data center also used for advanced technology, like for data storage, management, and also operation of IT on the data system. So the reason if I would say the reason for the green data center is to have is to save the environment. So on passive, our data center save the environment is a green data center. So technology also, or maybe good thing of our data center, we have a backup. So the backup is fast, frequent backup. It won't hog our bandwidth. So the backup can go on and nothing happen to our data center. And then we term of disaster recovery. So our data center also recover full servers. So all the servers in our environment, the data center can recover them. Also the workstations or the machine, the client machine, like individual or user machine, anything in there, the data center can also recover, because when the machine information is registered to the server, we can also do the disaster recovery. Even the Microsoft Office 365, the data can also be recovered. Then archiving in the data center. Our data center also have a possibility for archiving the data. So we can archive the data center for short term, for long term, and so we can archive the data for many years as the customer wants the data to be archived. So our data center does that as well. So I'll talk about also the security, because our data center have a good security. So the security, I will not talk too much about the security, but I'll leave my brother Oliver to talk about the security. But we have a physical security, like CCTV cameras is attached to our data center. We have a two-factor authentication is also attached to our data center. We have a biometric, and then we have an access card. So not everyone or anyone can access the data center. So the physical security for our data center is done. Compatibility, we have intrusion alarms, like we have also a SSO, single sign-on system attached to our data center. It's also compliance, our data center. So my brother Oliver will go more about the security system of our data center. So there's one technology also attached to our data center. I know we don't talk much about that, but today I'm going to talk about that. We have a load balancing, is a network load balancing. Though load balancing is a process, is a process of distributing network traffic and also across multiple servers. So if like, let's say one example of if you want to buy maybe plane ticket, you want to travel, and then if maybe the information in this server and then the server is busy, the system will put the information to the different server, so you will log into the system, so without having any interruption. So it's a system to distribute the network traffic. So if the server B is full, the traffic can distribute to server C, and then from C, you can do your job without, or anything you want to do, the internet services, without any problem. So the load balancing also improve the application responsiveness. So it's also a system to improve that as well. And then we also increase the availability of application and also the website for users. So when, like example I said earlier, if someone using the website, it help also improve the website users. So the user, they will not have any issues because this server is full. Immediately it will push the information to the different server, and then the user can access the thing without any issues. So artificial intelligence. So today I'll talk also about the benefits of using the artificial intelligence for our data center, because we said it a lot, but today I will just explain the reason of using artificial intelligence for our system, because artificial intelligence can monitor the server performance. So you check also the network congestion and also the disk utilization, because in the network system, when this thing happen, like the performance can affect the network, and then also the, let's say the disk utilization. Sometimes when the disk is full or is nearly full, it can affect the network performance, and then it can affect the system. So when the disk is full completely, the system can shut down. So that's why the artificial intelligence will monitor all this and control the system, so we can have all the time better performance and a better utilization of the system. So the network will flow without any issues, like water flowing in the river. Everything goes smoothly without any issues. So artificial intelligence also can also predict also the analytics, or to track also the power level. And also artificial intelligence can identify the potential defect. So if in the area in the system, if there's any defect in the system, that artificial intelligence can predict that. It's not that good, it's very great technology. And then artificial intelligence also in the data center can detect malware and then also identity security system. So my brother Oliver was here. He will tell us about a lot about the security in the for artificial intelligence system. So the artificial intelligence security also in the data center. So it's secure the data center. So they have the best security system ever seen in the digital system. So this is how the artificial intelligence work in the data center. It does a lot for the data center as well. So we have that in our technology. So on passive, we have that best of the best. We have a hybrid, like our system is on premise and then in the cloud. So if you're a customer, you decide to host your information in the cloud, we have that facility as well. You can do that as well. Then our data center is a multi-region, is all over the world. So the customer won't have any issues to host the data for the. Then the cable using for our data center, we have fiber optic, the best cable for network and digital world. So we have that as well. We have laser technology. Laser technology, again, is not internet connection. The laser technology, it boosts your internet connection. So if you have an internet connection, like you need to have that before you can connect to the internet, to connect to the website or anything you want to do, you need to have that primary issue. So when you have your network connection, using our the latest laser technology, let's say if you are in an area where the network connection is a poor network connection, the laser technology can boost your network connection. So you can have a better network connection for your internet or to connect to on passive system. Then if you connect, you also use our virtual, the virtual private network called VPN. If you use that as well, your system got the best of the best connection system. So you have a better connection. But first of all, you need to have an internet connection. Our system is not internet connection, but it will boost the poor internet connection for you so that your internet connection become better and better. So you can use the internet without any issues. And also our data center, we use 1 billion customers, 1 billion. So we can host 1 billion customers data and information in our data center. And then our data center, again, is a dual IP address. For dual IP address, we have IPv4 and IPv6. So the difference with them is that IPv4 is 32-bit scheme and then support 4.3 billion devices. So the IPv4 support 4.3 billion devices, but IPv6 is 128-bit scheme, and also that support 340 trillion and trillion of devices. So we're not running out of IP address as the IPv4, because IPv4 we are running out, and then but with IPv6 is more secure, and then is more very long, is 128-bit, and then the security over there is also good, great security for the IPv6. So good performance. Then we'll talk about the cost. All this great technology is attached to our data center. No, most of the data center in the world today can compare to our data center, because the technology we have, most of them, they don't have it. But in all overall, people will say, oh, it's very costing. No, on passive, Mr. Ash and the team in Hyderabad, they think about people, and then the technology they put in place is not costly, because our data center is ideally for business looking for economical solution. There's not that costing. So we are there to help business, to a lot of business outside there. So using our data center, first of all, we have the best technology. Secondly, it's not costing. Thirdly, we have the best security. Fourth, we have the best performance system in the data center. So if you want, you can Google it. You will see that on passive data center is the best of the best among all the data center in the world. So Antolin, I will leave it there.
Thank you, Vincent. You know, after hearing what he had to say, there were so many features of our data center that make it clearly superior, and we can be very proud of it. All right, so next we go on to Oliver Fonte.
Yeah, hi everybody. I want to thank everybody that is here today, and Bob, Collins, Vincent, wonderful explanation. I'll just give a brief summary about it, and I'll touch a little bit on security also, as Vincent mentioned. Mike Ellis, thank you for being here. Tony, Marty, I can call the names upon names, but I don't say thank you guys to come here and to listen to us, and the one that you can take home, fine. But OnPassive has reset the digital world. And upon all what my colleagues have said from Bob, Vincent, Collins, on passive, that is the timing, as Colin said, the timing, we are there. AI started around the mid-50s, but all these other companies passed by. They didn't touch on AI. They didn't tap into AI. But our CEO, a man with a heart of humanity, a heart to serve the people, a heart to help, a heart to change the world, God put it into his mind to tap into AI. That timing, that he has also used it to reset the digital world. And when you look into the digital world of today, you can't see anything apart of AI, artificial intelligence, AI. And he has tapped into all the features of AI. Today, OnPassive is going to be the giant, the super giant, the eagle of the eagles in the world. And we should be very proud. We should be very, very proud to be part of this journey and a founder, OnPassive founder, because God has seen your heart. All of us, our heart, because we are going to touch lives and we are going to replicate, as the CEO always said, that we should replicate ourselves. Let me go into the security part of it. How AI, they've used AI to our security, OnPassive security. Because everything in AI, in OnPassive, from our technology to everything is artificial intelligence. From scratch, there is no company that has started with AI from scratch. All what they do now, they patch. And when they got to that limit, to a certain limit, they have to stop. Because if you proceed, everything will collapse. That is why the CEO said that we are 3 years ahead. But for me, I see that we are more than 5 years ahead of all these other tech companies because of our technology. Being in the industry, see what the industry now that we are talking, and what Mr. Ash Mufara is putting in place, that building now in Hyderabad. We are 5 years ahead, not 3 years. Sir, I'm sorry to challenge you on that. But we are 5 years ahead. And by the time they want to get there, I don't think they'll meet us. Why? Because we have AI from scratch, from the root up. We have AI from root, go up, automated integration. Like my brother Collins, thank you for you to explain that part of integration. Look at the security, AI in our security. That they do have that, they had that predict future. For any attack that wants to come, first we have our firewalls that are in all locations. All the region will have firewalls, static, dynamic. Nobody can, before you penetrate, because you don't trust anything that comes from the internet space. Even if you trust, you verify. Even if you trust in security, when you trust, you must verify. Because I don't trust you, my mom, I don't trust you, my dad, my brother, I don't trust, I verify. That is security. AI has taken that human part a little bit off, and it predicts any attacks that want to come to our system. The firewall will first block it. Where will you go? Where are you going to pass to get into our system? Even if you penetrate and get into our system, the system will block all the ports. Will automatically, AI will come out and block all the ports. No data comes in, no data goes out. That is the power of AI. And that is the reset of the digital world. That most companies, by the time they want to discover us, we are gone. By the time they want to get there, we're gone. Because tell me how AI would, if AI predict any attack, it blocks the port, nothing, no data getting, no data comes in or get out. Then now, our tech guys will come, clean, filter, then open it. In any company, you do have email security department. Now, I don't think companies are going to have it anymore, because our omail.ai, when you buy our omail.ai, it comes with its own security, no spams folder. That is the reset, the digital world. That is the reset. AI also in security, when it proposes remediation or mitigation of threats around, both in and out. If there's any threat in and out, it proposes the remediation that they can mitigate or they fix. That is the digital reset, the reset of the digital world we are talking about. Look at what the CEO did also. He hired top tech guys that in Hyderabad just to brainstorm. They have coffee, what kind of drink they want to, just to brainstorm, to come out whatever product that they want to. Tell me which company does that. That is a reset, the digital world. And that is why we are going to have the best of the products, because he hires the best and the best. With an AI machine learning department, trading department in Hyderabad. Tell me who is going to beat us. With an AI machine learning lab. Tell me who is going to beat us in the digital world. With a bioindustry lab, also metaverse lab, physical and mechanical lab. That is the reset. That's the reset. That is the reset. Tell me which company. Tell me which company. Again, we have we've been they've approved us to operate in 196 countries all over the world. Tell me these other companies, they didn't do that. They didn't. But we are approved. We are complied. By compliance, we've complied. 196 countries all over the world that we are authorized to operate. WhatsApp is not in Dubai. OPAR will be in Dubai. Let me just name one product. WhatsApp is not in Dubai. OPAR will be in Dubai. That is the reset digital world. Why we have AI embedded in our products? Like my brother, they just mentioned. Like the CEO told us that our AI is going to make us heroes. Yes, we are going to be the hero. Like my brother Bob also mentioned about the structure of OnPassive. Tell me which company. Tell me which company. 1.455 million founders, that are also customers that will enter the market with that amount, with that more than 1.5 million customers. Never heard of. Google started with 50,000, if I'm not mistaken. It took them how long to get 1 million customers? But OnPassive get into the market with that amount, more than 500,000 customers. That is the reset of. We are not coming. OnPassive will not come to the market like school, like kindergarten, from dormitories, garage. We are the eagles. We are the eagle. Burj Khalifa, 2 floors, not office, 2 floors. Hyderabad, how many floors? 6. Singapore. We are the big guns that will come to the market, and that is the reset of the digital world that we are talking about. The CEO treats the employees like family. Where have you heard that? My company, before they want to give me 1 or 2% raise, it's a whole problem. I'll bust my ass. But the CEO gives cars, cell phones, salary compounded. Where have you heard that? You make $1,000 this month, next month you make $1,010. Compounded salary. That is the reset. That other companies will come to us for us to that ask Mufara, please tell us how did you do this thing? Being in the industry For me, it's a dream that I'm seeing. It's a dream. It's a dream. But it's real. It's not fiction. It's real. OnPassive is real. And it has already reset the world. The day we'll go to the market, I keep saying it, that the day will open our doors. Like my friend Bob said, my brother said, when I said it's going to be like Black Friday in America, the whole world will jam to come and get our products. That is the reset. We are not talking about normal products. We are talking about above market value products. Above value products. That omail.ai, you have omail, you just lie on your seat and you talk. I want to send this email to Mike Ellis. This. His address, as you've saved it in your contact, comes out. You say subject matter, you put subject matter. You say, hey, Mike, you just talk and you talk and you talk. It's okay, thank you. Send. It's send, automatic. That is the reset. That is the reset. They'll send you an email. The email comes with music. If I know Mike Ellis like jazz music, I'll just look for a jazz sound music and attach it to that, to his email. When he get that jazz music, he knows that he got an email. Tell me, is that not the reset of the digital world? That is the reset of the digital world, my brothers and sisters. Our website changes on daily basis, on every day it changes. Dynamic. Look at what we have now. I think it's 59, 159. See how sweet it is. Pictures, clear. Sounds, pap. Because we use what? Fiber optic cables. Because we use fiber optic cables. That's the most expensive cables. That the data center, they cannot have the former data centers like the others. I don't want to call their names. They use the copper cables. But we have fiber optic cables like my brother Vincent just mentioned, with laser on top of it to boost the speed. Come again, our data center has double power. This one shut down, the other one picked up. Not only that, we also have double internet into our data center. This one shut down, the other one picked up. So you see that everything OnPass comes with backup. Like this, our CEO told us the other day, our financial system also, we're going to have plan B and plan C. Tell me which company is done a reset? That's the reset of the digital world. Everything we have control. A company that comes with control, that has control over everything from data center, our own data, our whatever that you want to think about, our technology, the security, sophisticated and secured. Systems sophisticated and secured. Tell me who is that CEO that will not want to come to us? And our CEO is a man that customer will respect our customers. Our prices are going to be affordable. Tell me who will not come to us. Tell me who will not come to us. OnPassive has reset the whole world. When it comes to the digital world, we've reset the whole world. From products to everything, we've reset the whole world. When it comes to the digital world. And I want to say, Auntie Lynn, thank you. I'll take it, I'll leave it there.
That was exciting. You were on fire. Let's take it to the gallery. Take a peek at our attendees here. What do you guys think of the presentation by our 4 OTech pros? Give them a thumbs up or a wave. I thought they were on fire tonight, and I hope you got something out of it. All right, thank you. So now we're gonna take it to Mr. Marty DeGarmo, and I know he has a lot to say on this topic. Go for it, Marty.
You have to say that, don't you? Hey, yeah, it was very good. This is interesting stuff because we're always going in a direction. What direction are we going in? And we find out And when I was given homework by Lynn about this topic, I started looking around, and it's very interesting, some of the stuff that I saw. There's a company, actually, it's called the Great Digital Reset, chasing talent, not capital. And I thought, wow, this is amazing. And I read this article that sums up on passive 100%. It blew me away. The world of the future is not the world of capitalism. It is the world of talentism. In other words, human talent is increasingly being seen as more essential to today's enterprises than capital. Think about what Ash did. He doesn't talk about money. He talks about what's needed. He talks about finding the best. There was a meeting in the World Economic Forum between a gentleman named Schwab and, well, it was at AWS, but it was a World Economic Forum. And the world of the future is not the world of capitalism, is the world of talentism. Now, these are big people, big dogs in a big park that are starting to see where it's going. Listen, everybody thinks these big companies, they have all the control. No, the facts are control is where things go. During this pandemic, which really ignited this digital reset, right? I mean, we saw it, we lived it, we're in it. Now, what companies took advantage of that? Ask me for from scratch, right? Talent has become the new currency, the fuel and the sustained venture more than money alone. Unbelievable. Ash should have wrote that. He's living it right now. And guess what? We're with him. The talent needs to support the technology that's developed, which has accelerated at a blinding pace over the past year. Think about what's happened over the last 2 or 3 years during this crazy pandemic. Believe it or not, out of all the darkness and sadness and bad things, a new world is evolving out from underneath it. Because of Ash and because of his mind, because of the people he surrounded himself with, because where he's going, he saw that, he grabbed that baton and he's going in for the race, right? Now everybody else is fumbling around, grabbing the baton, it falls on the ground. Where do we go? We got to catch up. This is what happens when you don't think ahead. And Ash is thinking about talent, not money. It blows me away. When I looked at this article in Forbes magazine, I went, oh my God, this was written about Ash. Now they don't know it yet, but it's exactly what he talked about, what he's living today. Capital's always available. Ash said that. Capital's always there. But talent is very unique. Think about that for a while. What is he doing? He's taking what it takes to hire the best of the best so that we can be the best of the best. Then later you look at it and say, what did it cost? You can figure that out later. I'll tell you what it costs if you don't do it. It costs you losing industry. It costs your company to fall behind. That's what's going to happen. It's going to happen because big companies don't like change. Ash is change. Unpassive is change from the beginning until the end. From the very conception of Unpassive, Ash said anybody can do average. Anybody. He never wanted this average. And he hires the best, he looks for the best, he builds the best. And when it's done, what's that equal? It equals the best. And by the way, the money that he never talks about, this is what all this equals. It equals money. Whether he meant it to be or didn't mean it to be, he was so smart in let's build what this world is going to, because you don't have a choice. It's happening. And for him to take this at the worst time, like he says, timing's everything. Think about where we're about to launch in the world economy that's not doing very well, in a recession, whether they call it or not, look at all the signs, and what are we delivering? A recession-proof company from the very beginning, from A to Z. And what did he surround himself with? The most talented people on the planet. And then what did he do? Let's figure out what it costs later. It's unbelievable. We are so fortunate. And when you've got big companies in meetings with AWS and World Economics, and their discussion now is, uh-oh, there's a shift. This is what we need to do. This isn't what OnPassive needs to do. This is what OnPassive is doing. And we get to grab a hold of the coattails and just hold on for dear life. We are in the ride of our life, no doubt. The talk of all the industry right now is about where OnPassive is already going. And they're soon going to see that. That's all I have, really.
That's all? No, I'm just kidding. That was just amazing. That was very powerful. And you know, I think it's in line with value. We talked about value in the previous Friday Night Live, and it's really all about value. Mr. Mafara doesn't look at costs. He doesn't look at profits per se. He looks at providing the best talent, the best products, the best processes, the best data center, etc. And this is what we're going to offer to the world, and the world's going to find it irresistible. You know, we will be the hunted. We will not have to hunt for people. We will be the hunted. So thank you very much for sharing that. Appreciate it. Now we go to Mike Ellis.
Yeah, no, thanks, Lynn. I agree with everything Marty said, and I always love to listen to the tech guys. I mean, they just blow you away. And I love the topic, digital reset. So let's talk about digital reset and get in the real world. And I'm going to direct this to Bob, and then Colin, Vincent, and Oliver can chime in. I know they'll have something to say. And I've been thinking about this for a while. You know, in America, when people buy a computer, the Microsoft Office is always in that computer. It's uploaded into that computer so that they have they can do stuff online. And personally, my own thoughts is, why would I want to use a Microsoft platform when we have a superior platform in OnPassive? And the question to Bob is, as we move forward and we go into the product launch of the to the global market, can I go into my computer and delete everything of Microsoft? Will there, because you guys know the tools inside and out, will there be enough in the OnPassive products to totally eliminate that part of my life? To be honest with you, if I'm going to pay somebody, I want to pay OnPassive. I don't want to pay Microsoft. Are we there yet? And you answer the question for me. I think I have a pretty good idea, but are we there yet? As we launch the products to the global market, is there enough there to take care of everything that Microsoft Office does, or a good portion of it? Bob, go ahead, and then Colin, Vincent, and Oliver can chime in. I love this topic, and I'll tell you why in just a little bit, but you give me your opinion on what I just said, Bob.
All right, Mike. Thank you. Interesting question. That's a tough question, actually. No, for now, I am not aware of the actual if OnPassive has a suite that is equivalent to what the Microsoft package, the Office suite of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and all that. I'm not sure that we are there yet. Maybe in the long run we might develop our own suite that will be an alternative to Microsoft. But for now, I think, unfortunately, you have your computer, you have our OnPassive ecosystem. If you subscribe for the entire suite, the one that you want, with all our digital products in there, but Microsoft is still, you're still going to need it. I'm not sure if we have a suite that is equivalent to what Microsoft has given us.
Colin?
Okay. Bob, yeah, let me also. Oh, thank you, Bob. I think Bob answered very well your question, but at the moment, we cannot get away from Microsoft because all at the moment, even Apple, they are using using Microsoft Office tools. So Windows and all the operating system at the moment, we are all using Microsoft tool. So we can get rid of the Microsoft tool at the moment. Then on passive, I've not got this thing for solution for that at the moment. Maybe in the long term, like Bob said, in the long term, maybe Mr. Ash and the Adiraba team, they can think about replacing Microsoft tools, maybe using different tool like on passive, they can think for something different, or maybe propose different solution for the market, even in Europe here, because sometimes they take Microsoft to court because they say Microsoft monopolized the whole system, so no one can use a different operating system. So they take Microsoft to court and then they charge Microsoft heavy money. But even that, it hasn't resolved the problem yet. But I hope with our great ecosystem and the business we have, maybe, or even on passive, and they can propose our CEO tool like that. Even your question today, I believe he's watching us. He can also give him also some indication to think about this as well. But it's not easy because everything is in Microsoft hand. It's like a big fight. So I'll leave it there.
So let me just chip in this. I know our brother have just said it very well. You know, what Mr. Ash Mufara have just done now is even massive than even Microsoft, because this is web application we are talking about. You know, Microsoft is, you know, we talk about the Office 360 and all of that. And if you look at Apple, you know, Apple is like a closed source and they use different like Unix and stuff like that to build their system, different operating system. But they have limitation as well, because I remember in my company where, you know, most of our company was supplied by Apple. You know, we have the Apple, you know, laptop. But why I switched from Apple to most of the Windows and most of the like the normal laptop where you can use Windows is because I used to write automation suite to test application, and Apple cannot give me that. So whenever I try to download most of those open source application, it is always limited because it's like it's consuming the space. So I said, no, I cannot use this laptop. I'm going for something different. And only Windows can give me that. Microsoft can give me that. Because remember, they have a database, Microsoft Oracle, SQL Server, which is Microsoft SQL Server. And most of those SQL Server, they have open source application. But I believe with time, Mr. Ash Mufara will think about that. But we are a different monster and a different brand of business, which is web application. I believe we need each other. Microsoft need us and we need them. We come in as a big player in data center. We come in as a big player in all the web application, which they will need. So if they don't need us, either they'll go out of the market because they cannot stay like that. Remember, there are a lot of things. Internet Explorer is almost out of date. I think a lot of people knows that Internet Explorer is gone. Now they have what they call how they call the name. There's a different
Edge.
sort, they call it
Edge.
Yeah, Edge, Microsoft Edge. That's what they are using now. So it's going out of date. And I know businesses that are struggling, like IBM is struggling to move from Microsoft, you know, to Edge, which is really hard. But now Microsoft need to also change because soon they'll become outdated, you know, and a big player will come to build application. But we are different brand because we're building web application, both physical and digital products. So it's a different brand and they need us as well.
Let me also add, Mike. I know we are there and we're going to get it because remember that our products are all with AI, and if we want to create something also, it's going to be with AI, sophisticated and secured. When we were in Boston, Bob, Lynn, and myself had a 10-15 minute conversation with the CEO. Something like that is in the pipeline. I'll leave it there.
Yeah, no, that's terrific, guys. It's good to hear where we are, where Microsoft is. And I know Microsoft is an absolute behemoth. They're a monster. They're huge. But it's also nice to know that there are still frontiers that Ash Mufareh can go to. Will he do that or not? I can tell you that Microsoft has over 1 billion people that use Microsoft Office. That's one heck of a market. I hope in time, because I'm not a Microsoft fan, I hope in time that I can delete all of that stuff. I know Ash Mufareh, his imagination is much, much bigger than mine. I know you guys are up to date on all of this stuff, but we'll see. Let's see what he does in the future. And Collins, when you talk about time, in time we could do this. Well, Ash Mufareh's time is like 3 months and he's done. So thanks for your input. It really puts some perspective on where we are and what we're doing. Right now, Microsoft is we need them. We use them as long as we need them. And when we don't need them, Ash Mufareh will boot them. So
yeah,
thanks,
and Mike,
guys.
what you just said, bring me back again in something. Microsoft package, antivirus. One of the things people don't realize is when the antivirus expired, that same antivirus create a virus in your laptop because they want you to continue buy them. And that's why I really hate Microsoft. That's one of the things people don't know. They create antivirus, and they create the virus to destroy your laptop so you can continue to pay.
That's exactly right, Collins. It's one of the reasons I can't stand them. Yeah, they do things that they aren't honest, ethical, and clean. And Ash Mufareh, eventually, he might get there. I don't want to put words in his mouth. It's just something I've been thinking about for the last week or so. We'll keep hoping. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Lynn, back to you.
Thank you so much. Hi, Marty, join the discussion. Just as a reminder, we have no Q&A, no question and answer session today. So we'll be hearing from our co-hosts and leaders today. Thank you for your understanding. Go ahead, Marty.
I'm just going to say what I think, okay? I don't know, but I believe the day will come that Ampasa will make its own computers. It will put its own processors in. It will have its own service center. And yes, you don't need Microsoft inside Ampasa laptop, I'm pretty sure. But that's what I think we'll wind up being, just knowing what we're doing now, that no doubt about it. That's just my opinion.
Absolutely love it, Marty.
So what we're going to do right now is we're going to have a continuing dialogue amongst the 4 OTEC pros. And Mike, you're perfectly fine staying right there on that panel with us, and Marty. But I'd like to start with my question, okay? So, there are skeptics that are going to say, well, it's fine and dandy that Ampasa thinks it's going to be the reset of the global world. But what about competition? There's always going to be competition. So what is your response to that?
I'll start that very, very quick, Lynn, and then everybody can chime in. Competition is absolutely great. Competition makes you better. Understand that. When you have someone coming at you and trying to exceed you, do a better product, it makes you better. And I know Ash Mufareh and his tech team, not only here, but in Hyderabad, believe me, they're not afraid of competition. And the more competition, the better. If they're only 3 years behind, they're going to kick it up, and they're going to go 5, 6, 7 years ahead of these individuals. Competition is the best thing that can happen to any individual and any company. Now, when we're talking about individuals, competition, it has to be without malice. You don't want to hurt anybody. It's great to compete and see just how good you are or how good someone else is, but you never do it with malice. Now, when we talk about competition with companies, it's a little bit different because the world today is cutthroat, literally cutthroat, and they'll cut your throat at the anytime they can. They will do that. Ash knows that. Ash is very, very smart, and that's why He does what he does. That's why he doesn't tell us everything that he's doing. It's why this thing has been built the way it has been built. Ash knows what's coming. Is there competition? Yeah, competition is coming. Doesn't scare him. Doesn't scare him one bit. But competition overall, it's a really, really good thing. It really lets you know how good you are or where you can improve. It's a good thing, Lynn. Really is.
Let me also add. Let me add on this. How do you want to competition is good, yes, like Mike just said. But how do you want to compete with somebody that comes to the market like an eagle? Somebody that comes to the market with above market value products, disruptive products with innovative features. How you cannot compete. Are your products with AI embedded from scratch? No. Our products are embedded from scratch, automated, integrated with integration features and all in it. So how do you want to even compete? Where do you want to start? It's like day and night. So for me, there's just no competition with on-passive. When we get into the market and when the CEOs or the consumers, they will see into our products, I don't think any of them would blink. All of them would just grab it. I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, competition is good. Like Mr. Mike and Oliver says, there's always competition. When Zoom came, everybody said, oh, how are you going to do it? There's Cisco WebEx, there is Microsoft Teams, there is Google Hangout. There's always something to compete with, right? But what we have done is, what Ash Mufareh has done is he's come in and he's brought in 21st century technology, products that are coming into the market and they're going to dominate. Our products are going to speak for themselves. The value, we're talking about the value of our products, the disruptiveness of our products, the features. What do you want to talk about? O-Connect and what? Cisco WebEx or Microsoft Teams? That is day and night. We use them every day. It's like night and day, you know? And then the price. Ash Mufareh is coming with products that are better, over market value products. Right now, as we speak, you're going to get more with these products, but at a cheaper price. He's cutting all the red tapes. We talked about licenses. There's no more problems with licenses. You buy the product, gives you the product and the value, and you have it's unmetered. Companies are going to have to re-examine their entire business structures to match up, to keep up with on-passive. Is the value and the price for on-passive.
I would like to also ask about, you know, how you say that on-passive is 3 years ahead of the competition. And Oliver says it's actually 5 years, right, Oliver? But can you talk a little bit more about how these companies shouldn't be able to catch up with us? That's my little bit of a concern, that I think, well, what if they catch up? They can actually catch up to us, can't they?
No, Lynn. Oh, okay, Collins, you can go.
Yeah, just let me answer that. You know, Lynn, when they talk about not able to catch up, you know, we're talking about modern technology. I talk about timing, and I know Mike always picked that when I said timing. Timing is about the code we are using to write. You know, some of those companies, remember our CEO came on Roundtable on Monday and he gave like a brief idea of how, you know, formally codes were written using VB script. They call it Visual Basic, you know, script. That's an old time. They call it legacy in IT. Legacy, that is, they are all outdated because not many people can write VB script at this point in time. Maybe some of those people, they are all retired, and it was really difficult to write. You know, it was good at that time. Don't get me wrong, it was really good because that is what they have. But now we are talking about the growth and growth. We're talking about C#, which is a modern technology which you're using now to write code. We're talking about JavaScript. We're talking about Angular JavaScript. We are talking about Bootstrap. We're talking about, you know, they are all, we're talking about Python. You know, there are just a lot out there in the market. They are all latest. For instance, if you want to build, we're talking about machine learning team. I know a lot of people will do this. We discussed this with Vincent. You need Python. You need Oracle. You need PowerShell. These are all latest technology, to be able to, if you want to say you are a data scientist, this is what you have to study to become a data scientist. These are people that are needed now in the market. We have them in Hyderabad. They are all machine learning. They write the AI-driven and machine learning technologies. This is what we are talking about. Because when you talk about the dynamic or the dynamic of the software, which Oliver always talk about, the dynamic of the software is JavaScript. For instance, you can write good website using HTML, using cascading style. But how will you click on it? Say there's a click button. It's JavaScript that gives you that click. When you click, the screen change, you click on this, you click on that, dynamic change of the screen. That's JavaScript. Bootstrap give you like a nice platform. Everything's so sharp in front of you. And this is the latest code we are talking about. How can they catch us if the code they were using at that time is old, is outdated? So it means if you say someone want to do what we are doing now, it means they have to break everything from scratch. Do you think the customer will wait for you when you break everything from scratch? Who will wait for a software when they call you and say, oh, Mr. Mike Ellis, we are sorry, but we have to take this site down, and you wait for 4 years or 5 years for us to build new technology. You say, bye, I'm going for the next person. Yeah, and this is what is happening. So what they can do is patching. And how long can you patch? The more you patch, it's like you have a burst pipe in your house. You say, you know what, I will not call the plumber to come and fix it. What I'll do is I'll just take a little thread or put the bucket under. And then tomorrow, what happened? The pipe expand, and then what happened? Your whole house flood, your carpet destroy, your chairs, and then it will be more expensive for you to call the plumber to come and fix it, and then you buy everything. That's what they call patch. That patching is not good, because one day it will just collapse, sink, and kill you. So that's why they cannot change. And because they are making money, they are happy where they are. They are happy. So we're talking about 5 years technology with the template we have. Remember, Mr. Alpha have just put it, we're talking about configuration of the software. Those who know configuration, all what they were doing at that time was hard-coded. For instance, when you write a code and you said, I want this code to take only Mike Ellis, you cannot change it to take Marty DeGamo. But now they configured for the way you can delete Mike Ellis and put Marty DeGamo, the system will accept it again. And then they put the security. This is what we are talking about, the dynamic of on-passive, because this is the timing of AI and technology. From there on, that's the bedrock of technology, where it can only get better. So by the time they come, you're gone. They're gone. I've been in a company where they said, if you want to change, we have to scrap everything. Everybody said, well, do you want to scrap it? What will you tell the customer? And we only have to patch, because at that time, those who wrote the code, it was just like bad. It was just one set of code, and it's just going until, you know what? Sometimes we give the software, we know the software is buggy, but what can we do? Give it to the customer, we'll fix it later. Thank you very much. Like Ellis, I'll give it back to you.
Yeah, Antilin, I was actually in a conference sometime around May. Several companies got together, and every CEO that came on, they were speaking, they are making projections. They are trying to get where on-passive is now, where Mr. Ashmufara is taking us to in the next maybe 60 days or so. They are making projections for 2025, 2026. That's where they are now. And remember, the people that the specialists, our engineers that are working for us, once they finish doing what they're doing, they are not let go. Remember that we also have a team that have been assembled together. They are brainstorming for futuristic technology. They are brainstorming to make sure that we enhance these products. By the time these people catch up with us, we are already another 3, 4, 5 years ahead of them. So we're always going to be ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I'm going to chime in, Lynn. Can you hear me?
Please do, Tony. We hear you well.
Yeah, great. I feel much better actually being on this webinar. Thank you. You guys are amazing. You really are. Great questions and answers. I wanted to touch on a couple of things that we talked about. You can't compare with on-passive for one thing, only because nothing like this has ever been done before. All these companies, Microsoft and all these giants that we talk about, they all started in the garage. We started at the top. You can't compare with somebody that starts at the top, for one thing. And as far as competition is concerned, there is no competition, because exactly what Bob just said, we're focused years ahead of our time. We're focused on innovations that are going to be happening 5 years down the road. All these other companies, Lynn, that you were talking about, what if they catch up to us? If they catch up to us, we just create something better. That's all we do, and we keep moving forward. The only reason that they will never catch up to us is because their main focus is on profits before people. And we are focused on people before profits. So when you focus on the value of people and the value of the products for the people, then you are years ahead of companies that are mostly focused on profits. So I just wanted to bring that up, and we'll just keep the discussion going back to either Marty or Mike. Thanks.
Who wants to go next? Okay, Marty, you're next.
Yeah, as far as competition, there will be competition for second place. There'll be a lot of that, and somebody will take second place. Here's the problem. In order to compete with somebody, you have to be in the same playing field. The building of Passive was built with value. The other companies, they don't build with value, they build with how much can we make. Now, they would have to retool their whole business. Look, you're either building or you're repairing. It was said years and years ago. It's all over the industry. The reason these companies are talking like they're talking is they see where things are going and they're going to adjust to that. We are that. We are where they want to go. So to say that there's competition, I don't see it. A year ago, I thought, yeah, okay, there'll be competition. But when you build your whole company on a platform from conception of value, and I want to be the best, and I want to make sure the customer's satisfied, and not some old guy sitting at a table that's expecting $1 million bonus every year, you're satisfying him. And on Passive, he doesn't exist. He's not there. The board meeting's not there. All the stockholders, they don't exist. We're the only holders of this company. And if he built a company because he thought of the consumer and value, the other companies, I don't care how big they are, I don't care how big they were, they're coming to a gunfight with a pea shooter. You can't compare with a company that was built from conception, and all of a sudden this big giant's going to step into the arena and they're going to go, why are they who they are? They're going to find out, and they're going to go, oh my God, how do we adjust for that? I want to see the first board meeting in Microsoft and say, we need to make changes. Okay, that's good. Yeah, but we need to make changes at the core. We need to change the way we think. You might as well kiss that goodbye. That's not going to happen. The competition will be for second place. That's my opinion. I don't see a company that has a foundation of capitalism. There's nothing wrong with it. How much can I make to a company of what can I provide? And by the way, the ingredients of Passive is a multi-trillion-dollar company. The money's coming anyway because of the way he built it. He doesn't have to say it. You follow the yellow brick road and it leads to a gold mine. And that's what he did. That's where we're at. People can say, oh, what about they? No, what about nothing? They are caught with their pants down the day we enter the arena. There's nothing they can do but pull their pants up. They're not going to resuit. They're not going to change their clothes. They just want to cover their bare ass. And Passive is already going to be flying down the track. So the only thing they have left is second place. That's my opinion.
I just wanted to add to that, Lynn, what Marty just said there. You know, Passive is going to force other companies to change. No company out there is ever going to force Passive to change at all. You see what I'm saying? We're always going to be ahead of the game that way. I also wanted to bring something else up, and I just forgot. I always have these brain farts every now and again.
Let me chime in a second, Tony.
Go ahead, Mike. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think these companies are going to change. I think Tony's right. I think Marty's right. But I think Colin hit it right on the head. These companies, they're happy where they're at. They're making money. They don't want to change. Their stockholders are happy. They don't want to change until they have to change. And by that time, when all of a sudden they're not happy anymore, the stockholders aren't happy anymore, OnPassive is so far ahead of them, they can't change the culture in that company. It's based off of profits. It's based off of stockholders. It's based off of sheer greed. And you know, that's fine. That's their model. But when they wake up and they see OnPassive, as Marty said, there is no recourse. They can come in second place, way behind OnPassive. I don't think we're going to make these companies change because they can't change. Because of their structure, they cannot change. They have to bring in profits for their shareholders. And when they stop doing that, they go out of business. It's as simple as that. So I think Colin hit it on the head. They're happy until they're not. And by the time they're not happy, it's too late. OnPassive is 5 years, 10 years, 20 years ahead of them. You are just not going to catch OnPassive. And that's why the question you asked, Lynn, is so appropriate. It's important for people to understand where OnPassive is, where we're going. And because we're looking at value, we're not looking at shareholders because of that value. Marty said it, $2-3 trillion company. And because Ash Mufareh wants to share that profit. It's not about the money for Ash Mufareh. He can come out with a product because of everything he's done. He can lose every dime on that product because he wants to put it out there and help humanity. He can do that. It's not a problem with OnPassive. He doesn't have to worry about shareholders. And when you start to think about what's coming in the future, he doesn't need to make buku bucks on one single product. He can make a very, very small profit margin. And because 8 billion people are using it, all of a sudden it's $1 trillion. So yeah, a really great question, Lynn. And obviously Tony and Marty and everybody loves that question because when you think about it, we're in such a great place. We have no competition.
I agree with Mike 100%, Lynn. And I just wanted to add, Mike beautifully said, and you're right, Collins. No, Collins was right at the beginning there. Do you guys remember the recession in 1929, the stock market crash? We went into a recession for a few years. You know, there were some corporations that actually did very well, became very wealthy, but very greedy, while other people the majority of people were suffering and in soup kitchens and looking for jobs that didn't exist. While these same wealthy companies that became wealthier as the recession went on, created the industrial age. Created jobs for average people to finally come and have a job for 30 years and feed their families and so on. I believe that is the digital reset here in OnPassive. It's just a different time, which is the information age, which is where we're at now. And OnPassive is one of those companies that's changing the face of humanity in every which way you can possibly think of. We're not doing it in a greedy manner. Mike is 100% right. A lot of these corporations out there, they have to make sure that their shareholders are making money. So that's what they're focused on. They're focused more on the money aspect of it. And when you focused on a value, and you don't have to go to an IPO like OnPassive, then we have the ability to become free thinkers. We think a lot clearer. We don't have the pressure and the stress that some of these companies do to try to make money for their shareholders. So we're in a much better position as OnPassive heirs. Back to you, Lynn. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I see we have Sampat Patel here, who has been very active in our webinar and promoting our webinar. I think he would like to say a few words. I wanted to give him a chance to speak. Go ahead, Sampat.
I thank you all for inviting me to speak 2 words in the world's largest webinar. First, I introduce myself. My name is Sampat Patel and I come from Surat, India. I joined our company for more than 3 years, and even today I stay positive and study only about our company and like to talk about it. Thank you. Thanks to the organizer of today's meeting, Lane Nakamoto and Ron Halbert, for giving such a wonderful platform to all the founders of the world today. Simultaneously, IT expert of Friday Night Live webinar, Bob Takushi, Collins Mana, Oliver Fontek, and Vincent etc. I also thank you very much through this platform, due to which we get a lot of knowledge through this platform. Today, I consider myself very fortunate to be the founder of On Passive Company. Because of our company, we have got a very big family today. If we go anywhere in the world, then a founder of our family will definitely be found there. Through this platform, I thank you, our CEO sir, who has done that feat which till date no company in the world has even through of doing it. Friends, our company has created a huge story, and we are part of this history. Friends, whenever I have free time, I always visit our website. I keep studying about our products by logging into www.onpassive.com. Although I am not an IT expert, but due to spending a lot of time on the internet, I can say with the claim that our company's products are in the whole world. You are going to create a rush. I also request you to increase your knowledge about our product when you are free. I am fortunate that I have visited the Hyderabad office of our company and also got the opportunity to interact with all the employees of our company. I thank our CEO, sir, for selecting the best employee in the world. I have a prayer to all the founders that our CEO S. Mupra has given the pending ID a chance to become the founder. So please, all of you at once call, mail, WhatsApp, or if possible, meet them personally and tell them to top up your pending ID with $97 as soon as possible. And if you are successful in doing this, then the whole family of that person will bless you for the rest of your life. With these few words, I end my speech, and again thank all the host and co-host who have invited me to speak to world. Thank you, Lynn Nakamoto. Thank you.
Thank you, Sampat. He has been such a supporter of Friday Night Live and our OTEC Pros and our Heroes webinar and our O Winners webinar. We have a true supporter in our midst, and we do appreciate you. And you said the right thing. I mean, we really need to stay plugged in and be very confident that we are in the world's best company, the best company. So at this time, we're going to be wrapping up. We don't have a question and answer session today, as we said in the code of conduct. So if you read that and we repeatedly posted it in the chat, you will know that there is no question and answer from attendees in this webinar tonight. Okay, so I hope that's clear to you. All right, thank you for respecting those rules. All right, we want to go now to the 4 OTEC pros to see if they have any final words before we end. And we'll start with Vincent. Final words?
Thank you, Auntie Lynn. For tomorrow, we have a OTEC Pro webinar. Is US time, I think. Okay, UK time is 4 p.m. So for those of us who are free tomorrow, don't hesitate to join OTEC Pro webinar tomorrow. Will be the same topic, the reset of the digital world. Thank you very much. And then thank you also all the participants. Also, all everyone here, thank you for joining this great webinar. And thanks also all those guys also watching us from YouTube. thank my brothers for this great presentation. You did well. And then we hope next week we can carry on doing better than today. Thank you. Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank you, Vincent. Now we go to Collins.
Wow, what a webinar. Great question. Michael, thank you for the question. You just make me think again more about everything. So it was really wonderful. So I just want to thank all the participants. You know, this webinar is really, really educative. Honestly, though we are the speaker, but we learn again from you because we sit again and rethink. And these are things that we do every day, you know, in our job day to day, we do it and we come across challenges like this. And we've seen a lot of good software and bad software, but there's nothing you can do because it's all about money, you know. But now we are in on-passive, where it's not only about money, it's about quality and the founder. So the customer is the first. You know, Mr. Ash Mufara put all the customer at heart. So it's not about money, it's about giving quality to the founders, value to the customers. Because if you give value to the world, as Marty Gamo said, if you shine the light to others, the light will come shine on you as well in double fold. And this is what Mr. Ash Mufara is doing. You know, he is taking his time, no pressure to do it, because we know if you hit the market in IT, they said first time right. First time, you must get it. You must get it right first time. Because if you mess it up, nobody will trust you again. There is no way, there is no come back after. No, because nobody is waiting for you. They just jump to the next person and say, you know, we can't trust him. But when we get it right with one of the products, I bet you everybody will come into on-passive. You don't need to share it because they will come in their numbers because they said this is the place to be. Our price, our products, you know, seamless products and everything. The technology is top notch. So there is no way they can beat on-passive because we know what is out there. So I just want to thank you. Stay focused on on-passive. Stay loyal to on-passive because this is the place to be. There is no other place except on-passive. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Collins. We got go now to Oliver Fonte.
Yeah, what a great webinar and a good question. Thank you, Mike, also for interactive today with us and your response. Like Colin said, we learn also the fact that we come and talk. We learn from questions that comes in and other stuff. We learn also, you know, and I want to say this, that we should all know that we are fine because when you look at our technology, when you look at the technology that surrounds our on-passive systems or ecosystem, we are the eagle, like I would say, we are the eagle. And we should be proud of ourselves. We should be proud of ourselves to be part of this because no company will even come to that boxing ring with us. Like Madi said, they are coming to the second position, and it's true. Maybe even the third, because I don't see any company that is going to stand us. And I'll leave us with with some statement that our CEO mentioned to us, that we should think big, dream big, think positive, and reverse our dreams. Thank you.
Thank you, Oliver. We now go to Bob Takusi.
Yes, Antilene, thank you, Mr. Ron. Mr. Mike Ellis, good to see you, interact with you. That was really good. Mari, everyone, all my fellow brothers, OTech Pros, great evening again. I'm going to leave you with something that I read, I saw online. I believe that there's a video that's a short YouTube video. I'm suspecting that it might have been written by John White and maybe created by Bill Moss. I'm not sure. I can't remember who really put it together, but the words are so soothing, and it befits this moment for me to share with all of us, which it also kind of ties along with when we talk about on-passive being the reset. There's a short video. It's about maybe like a minute and a half or so. It's called Imagine. You know, they're talking about, let us imagine a company whose CEO's personal mission is to uplift humanity one person at a time. There's no company that has done that. That comes in with that kind of a mindset. That's a reset. It says, imagine a company whose purpose is to lift up, is to lift you up so that you may lift up another. Imagine that. Imagine a company who has over almost 1.5 million customers before it launches. That's a reset. There's no company that we know of that has about 1.5 million customers before it launches to the world. It's a reset. Imagine a company with over 20 digital products, digital and physical products, right out of the starting gate with a lot more in the pipeline. Isn't that a reset? It is a reset, guys. Imagine a company that gives back to its founding members with every product sale, keeping back only what it needs to keep growing. I don't know of any company with that kind of a mindset. That's a reset. Imagine a company with an inspired force of volunteer leaders who inform, guide, and help their fellow founders 24/7. Like we have our leaders, Brother Madi, Mr. Mike Ellis. They have been doing this for the past 4 years, 4 years, these leaders. That's a reset. There's no company that we know that has done that. Imagine the impact of such a company. Imagine the ripple effects of 1 million+ founders with the heart and the means to make a difference in their countries and beyond. Imagine that. This is what OnPassive is bringing to us so we can take to our various countries around the world and uplift the planet. It says, imagine it, believe it, and experience it. That's OnPassive. That's the reset, guys. And I'll end by quoting our CEO. Our CEO says that if you doubt us, we doubt your intelligence or your sanity. Those are the words of Ashwin Farah. I'll send it back to you, Anthony.
That was beautiful. Very beautiful. Mike, did you want to say a couple words before we end? You're welcome to. Mike Ellis.
Not really, Lynn. This terrific webinar. The tech guys, Bob, Collins, Oliver, Vincent, you guys are awesome. Absolutely awesome. Every one of you. And I learned a lot today. I learned a lot. And when I come on and I learn stuff, that's a really, really good thing. Not only where we're at, but where we're going. Yeah, but absolutely perfect, Lynn. You do a great job. Keep it up. And yeah, I look forward to the next one.
Thank you. You became part of our panel today, so I appreciate you. Mm-hmm. Marty, any final words, Marty or Tony?
Yes. Good night. Great webinar.
Awesome. Tony?
Sure. I'll say something that you said earlier, Lynn, and I just I thought it was beautiful. You know, there is a great reset happening right now, and it's a movement. It's a movement, and it's called OnPassive. You said that earlier, Lynn, that we have a movement here. We have a movement going on, and we do have a movement, and it's an amazing movement. It's amazing, completely amazing. Anyway, I'm sick. You guys know I've been sick for over a week, so I'm trying to think as much as I can here. But thank you so much for a great webinar. The old tech bros, you guys were on fire again. Mike, you're always on fire, always on fire. What can I say? Marty, same thing. You inspire the heck out of me, and you make me laugh my head off. I fell off my chair a couple of times because of you laughing. But you guys are fantastic. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Lynn, for a great webinar tonight. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you, Tony. And I know you're dedicated because as sick as you are, you made it tonight. You didn't want to miss the action. So I appreciate you so much. Thank you to everyone here today. We're going to wrap up. Marty, do you want to say anything else? I see
No, I'm good. I talked enough. Very good meeting. Absolutely a lot of fun.
Thank you. Thanks, Marty. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to tell you about webinars that are coming up over the next few days. And then I'm going to give my thanks to the people who make this webinar possible. So the webinars that are coming up are tomorrow, we have OTech Pros at 11 a.m. Eastern. It will be live streamed onto 20 channels as this one is as well. Then we're going to have the Papua New Guinea webinar at midnight on Sunday. We're going to have the Heroes webinar at 1:30 p.m. on Sunday. We have the Ghanaian webinar that is at 11:30 a.m. on Sunday. Did I miss anything? OTech Pros, Marty, did I get them all? Those are the webinars coming up over the next few days. Julie and Milo show, I'm sorry, Milo show is coming up at 2 p.m. on Saturday. I believe I got them all. I think over the next few days. It's not the whole week stuff, but just over the next few days. All right. And I want to give my thanks now before we end. I want to thank Marty because Marty is the host of this webinar technically because he opens up this webinar, he live streams and he records it. Thank you, Marty. I also want to thank Myra Aquino. She provides the promotional graphics for this webinar. And also I want to thank Bill Must, who provides the background, the Zoom background that we're using today, Friday Night Live with the laptop. It's gorgeous. Thank you, Bill, for that. I want to also thank John Barilla and Listra Tuak. They are our chat monitors today. It's a very, very important thing. Maybe we don't notice it because they're quietly in the chat, but you know that chat can go awry if we have, we have trolls that come in once in a while. So we have them as our chat monitors. I think the chat went really well today. I didn't see any issues at all. So thank you for being professional in the chat. That way we can all enjoy the chat. It's really special. I also want to thank the people who helped to promote this webinar, Friday Night Live webinar. So I want to go over some of the names of the people that I have personally noticed has been promoting us on social media. I may have missed some, but these are the people that I've seen over the last couple of days. Abdul Rahman Ukasha, Arvinder Kaur, Andy Burks, Bhupender Singh, Bhupender Survi, Brian Koech, Collins Mana, Fatmata Sano, Frank Amposa, Funmi Williams, Gifty Safoa, Gladys Naboro, John Barilla, Linda Ampadu, Listra Tuak, Marcian Hemabu, Myra Aquino, M. Kaylee, Mijanur Rahman Shapan, Mohammed Azad, Hossein Pratap Kunchi, Sampat Patel, and Tony Monk. There are others as well, but those are the ones that were very, very actively promoting our webinar, and this is why today we had over 475 attendees. I think that's one of the highest numbers we've had in attendance without even Mr. Mafaro being here, but he was here with us in spirit, and he is often watching us through the YouTube live stream. So if he doesn't catch the YouTube live stream, he'll watch the recording. So we appreciate Mr. Mafara as well. Thank you to the attendees, for without you, we would not have Friday Night Live. So at this time, did I forget anybody, you guys? Let me know now. OTech Pros, Marty, Mike, did I forget anybody? I hate it when I overlook people.
Just Ron, Lynn, I think.
Oh, yes. Ron had to leave. Ron, he was sick. He was in pain tonight. So he stayed to greet us, which is really wonderful, but he had to leave to go and rest. So let's keep him in our prayers because he is there for us. He's there as much as he possibly can, given his health conditions. His heart is with us in every webinar. So we love him and our prayers go out to him. And we hope he can make it next week. Hope for a better week for him. All right, at this time, what we're going to do is we're going to take it to the gallery. And we're going to have an extended period of goodbyes, which I think is really special. So let's unmute you all and enjoy the goodbye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye,
everybody. Good webinar as always, Lynn and Ron.
Bye, Eric.
Bye. Bye, Chris.
So goodbye. Good night, all.
Every time it rains,
Everybody.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Thanks again.
I'd
like to show everybody.
Bye, everyone. Love you.
Awesome.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Okay, David.
Tina.
Bye.
The one you love.
Bless.
You must have showered.
Tina.
Mary,
Hey.
Mary, Mary.
So when you hear
The
it
Junior
ring,
movie. Hey,
don't
Jean.
rotate.
Francis, see
There'll
you
be
later,
apples
Francis.
Bye.
See you next week.
you
Thanks, Kian,
say.
everyone.
Bye.
Good luck in
Love you
Pastor
guys.
Sam.
Bye. Thank you.
I
Done.
love you. Thank you.
Bye.
Oh, oh, lovely.
Bye-bye.
Allah.
And we'll have a bye.
It's
Ramatu.
a memory.
Thank you very much.
See ya, everyone.
Awesome, guys.
Marilyn. Love you. See you, Jack. Good night.
Bye.
John.
Night all.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Francis. Hi, Theodore.
Bye-bye.
Oh, Dr. Benny.
Hey,
Hey,
Jake.
John.
I'm so glad
Bye,
to see more
Tina.
Singaporeans here. Soon.
every
Bye.
time it rains, it
Bye, Miss
rains.
Brown.
Hey.
Mindset.
Hey, Machine. See you
Mindset.
soon.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Marcian.
Bruce.
Music, no music. Then, thank you, all
John.
technos, Vincent, Rob, Collins, Uncle Bob. You guys are great. I love
Krishna.
technology.
Yes. Number one.
Susan.
Love it, guys. Love it.
Number one. Compassion is the best place to be.
Proceed. We're going
Hi,
hyper.
David
Awesome.
Otto.
Unpassive is the
Hi,
best.
everyone.
Unpassive is the best.
Quantum computing. Here
Hi,
we go.
Miriam.
Bye.
We are in the best place we can be.
Right.
Good, John.
Good night, guys. Good night.
No
Good night.
singing, John.
Good
What happened
night.
to
Change
your
the
voice?
world.
Hey,
Hello.
Harold. I know you're here somewhere, Harold.
Hello, Dr. Benny.
See you next week.
Hi, Collins.
Hi. Tony, where are you?
John Barelli.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Bye, John.
See you, Tony.
And don't worry. Bye-bye.
Marcian. Marcian.
Don't
I
worry.
Oh,
I
Marcian.
hope to see you
Bye-bye.
soon around.
It's
Howdy.
coming. It's
See you
here.
later,
Have a
Hey,
wonderful
alligator.
guys.
day.
It's here. It's here. It's
Good
here.
night,
Love, life,
Esther.
and blessings to all of you from Singapore. See you all
All the
soon.
best,
Somebody
guys.
say bye to.
John. Take it easy, John. Take it easy.
It is my brother Bill Maher. Love you.
Good night, Bill
Everybody's going to
Muz.
have their own orchard. Orchard of apples.
Bye,
Thumbs up.
Bridget.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Orchard of apples.
Good night, June.
Hi, Yvonne. Yvonne.
Orchard of
Lisa.
apples, friends. We're going to bless the world.
It's raining apples
Good
Have a
from
night,
great
my
day.
Gladys.
John.
Good night, Narelle.
Have a good day,
It's
Noel.
raining
Good night,
apples from
Ken.
a
John.
I hate to say goodbye.
Good
Every
night,
time
Francis.
it rains apples from our pasture. Don't you
Where the
know
apples
good
falling from?
day? Apples from our
Casey.
pasture.
Good night,
Where's
Jonathan.
Tim?
Remember,
You'll
Tim,
find
Good
your
night.
number
Good night.
one.
Good night.
Good night.
Step on
somewhere.
the boat.
Good
Unstoppable.
night.
Over